I can explain how a habit like smoking or something like that affects your body. There are times throughout your life where, say, me as a person right now, there's a day where my mental mood, my thought patterns, my belief patterns, say I watch a TV show that says that smoking is bad for me, and I just had a cigarette, or I go out and have a cigarette, and I'm like, well, fuck that, I'm going to have a cigarette anyway. In the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, this isn't bad for me. If you really believe it's not bad for you, it helps you get a little bit better from the times you have smoked. If you look at it and think to yourself, oh, this is making me die a little bit more from smoking, it is. It literally is. All your thoughts are coming true. In your own little perspective, in a worldwide perspective. Like, even if you start trying to believe that it's not hurting you, you try to start believing that because the world is believing that, and you haven't broken off into your own personal time to take for yourself, even if you only do a little bit every day. It worked for me because I spent a lot of time by myself. I mean, ask anyone who knows me, I spent a lot of time by myself. Even when I'm around people, I'm alone, because I started developing my mind and started knowing that the only way to keep myself under control is to analyze every second of thought. But anyway, the idea with smoking, okay, the way things harm you, at a certain rate of physical vibration, you smoke. At a certain rate of walking a mile, you walk. At a certain rate of physical vibration, you eat. At a certain rate of physical vibration mixed with other kinds of, I don't know if you want me to explain it, I can come into words like atmospherical vibrations or whatever vibration. It would be a physical vibration mixed with other sensations like heat and elements of, like a stove when you cook the food. Like all these vibrations all have their own thing. You know, they only should be done at a certain time with what's going on around them. The vibration of gas shouldn't be on in the vapor form of vibration. I don't know what that's called, but I know it's there. The vapor form of vibration shouldn't be around an open flame at a certain time, at a certain volume of vapor vibration and fire vibration. It just shouldn't be, or spark vibration. An amount of smoke, depending on how much you've eaten, how much food vibration, how much blessings you put upon the stuff you've introduced to your body, the stuff that you put into your mind that affect the way you think about how your body's being affected, that affects its body vibration. Everything has a vibration. Everything has a vibration. Every cell has its own vibration. That's why it's making cancer cells or blood cells or bone cells. It all has its own little cell vibration. We don't get it, but this is the way I can put it so that you understand it. I mean, this is all obvious stuff. If you really think about it, you're like, oh, I knew that, but you didn't know that. So don't say you knew any of this, because I didn't know any of this. It's just coming out. I can't put my phone down, even though I want to, but it's just coming out. But I want to tell you how smoking is bad for you. Okay, smoking is bad for you. I realize this now. Smoking is bad for you, but it will not kill you. Smoking is not bad for you. At the same time, I just said smoking is bad for you. Smoking is also not bad for you at all. All it depends on is all the vibrations you put towards yourself. So if you break your mind away from everybody and you totally know that you're 100% in control of your vibration, like I do, I could smoke all day, every day, and still run a mile and still do whatever I please, because I've developed my mind to understand that only things happen to me the way I want them to in my reality. I mean, that's how I know that I'll live forever, because I know that only things will happen to me the way I want them to happen to me in my reality. But I know that what I'm saying can cause a reality where people don't believe me and come and try to harm me. I mean, as unfortunate as that is, people would do that. They would try to harm me because I tapped into the God frequency. I mean, sometimes I think if certain plants or certain animals understand that I tapped into the God frequency and I talk to them, I think they would get freaked out and they would, whatever. So I'm afraid to trying to move a tree, or like today I stopped leaves from moving. I literally stopped the leaves from moving. I taped a little bit of it, but I literally stopped everything from moving. That's why I started taping. And then because I was taping, I lost belief in it happening, so it didn't happen while I was taping. And as soon as it stopped taping, I was still audio recording at the same time. And I swear to you can hear the wind pick up. I hope you can, because it was on this phone. And you can hear the wind pick up. And I was asking for it to happen while I was recording, and it did a little bit, then it stopped, and it did a little bit, then it stopped, and I was like, sure, whatever. And I stopped believing, and it picked up really bad because I was trying to get it to stop, but it wouldn't stop because I stopped believing in it. I believed in it surely, and then a little bit broke away, but I was like, I know it can. I believed in it surely, like almost the vibration of sure, I know it, but then it stopped, and then I said, I know it because I just saw it, and then it stopped. And I know it because I just saw it, and it stopped, and then my phone died, and of course it happened. You can hear it, but you couldn't see it. But of course, because I was easier to believe in it, because nothing else was, my camera couldn't catch it. So I'm trying to work on the ability to do it on camera so it wouldn't be so hard to believe. But I have caught some things, little things, but I'm just learning. And I'm not trying to go too far because I don't want to expand too much at once because I don't know what I'm able to handle. I mean, I know what I'm able to handle because I know I ask God to make sure that can't handle too much at once and He won't harm me. And something in His idea of not harming me is letting people, do with me what they please. Like, I am a human being, so it's not like I'm going to, like, I could learn these mind powers and escape and stuff. There's every option possible. Like, I could turn into a superhero if I wanted to. I know that sounds stupid. And by telling this, I know that every person could turn into a superhero. But I don't want that either because some people would turn into supervillains. Because even if you have the God mind, you won't understand it the same way that it's supposed to be harmony and peace. I don't know if He'll give you the powers or give you the access to those powers if you don't find harmony and peace. Because just like every other law of something, like there's going to be a spiritual law between being able to manifest fire and being able to be peaceful. That to some extent can be banished by one being or one belief sort over another. One being can banish another if they are pure in rightness, and righteous. If they're righteous, and no matter what causal plane or spiritual plane or physical plane or whatever plane it's in at the time it is there, if it's righteous to the degree of true love and unconditional love and understanding and acceptance, then it can always pass on. It will always pass on. If its body sheds because of the things around it, like me as a human, if people kill me, whether I want them to or not, I tell them how much I love them or show them what they are themselves, they can still slaughter me. And I will go on to the greater place knowing that I tried to show them as much as I can, and I look back and be like, well, it was nice being Dan. I actually got to live as a human. That was cool. But it was also cool once I was Dan and I got to live in his mind and I got to be everything as a human could possibly be. And people aren't understanding that that's all they get in this human life. But you get more than that. But while you're in this human body, why wouldn't you want to understand and experience all those things? You know what I mean? I can teach you how to do that while you're here in this human life, no matter how many years you live. No matter if you've lived 90 years and you want one more day of just some kind of creative spark that you never had, that makes you feel a little bit better. Why wouldn't you want it? I'm asking you, like, from God to God. You are God too. Like, I love you. I love you so much, and I'm not saying it this way to convince you or sound schmoozy. Like, I love you that much. If I had to kiss every person on the lips, I'm telling you, if you need me to prove to you that I have to kiss you on the lips, as much as I know it would make me look stupid and gay and whatever people call me, I'm unconditional, man. I'm not going to put myself, Dan Alexander, I'm not going to put myself into like the clutches of criticism by sucking everybody's dick or eating shit or something. I'm not going to put myself through that. No, I refuse to do that. I would kiss every person on the lips. If you need me to prove to you that I believe that I'm God, I will walk up and kiss you on the lips. But what would that prove? Because there's gay people that could walk up and kiss you on the lips any day. But you'll see who I am, and you'll see my stature, and you'll see my public appearance, and the women that are around me will be like, oh, he's so manly. And no matter how manly I am, if I walk up and I kiss another man on the lips, they'll know that I'm only doing it to prove to them that I know that I'm God. And I know that they're God. So once I kiss them on the lips, maybe that'll give them the courage to look, because I just had the courage to embarrass them, whether they respond by killing me in front of everybody. Like, I will say all of this right before I do it, because I understand people. I understand every possibility that goes through the human mind. I've understood. I just know it as my brain can interpret it. So that's like, as your brain can interpret it, you could have the most creative life. And if you're not very creative, I can give you things that I have thought of that you can put in your mind and turn them into your own creations, if you understand that. That's how God creates, through seeing another thing and tweaking himself according to whatever that thing is, through that smell, through that sound, through that everything that you see is some kind of thing that tweaks your vibration a little bit. I know it just sounds weird to say it as vibration, but your experience is like an experiential vibration. Your smell is a central vibration. I don't know if it's called central. I don't know what these words are called. I don't care. But you know what I'm saying. Every vibration is its own vibration. Like, I'm having a cig now, and I know that I'm actually going to be healthier because I'm going to smoke. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to watch it in my head. This is one of the meditations that I do. I breathe it in, and I see the smoke going up in my head like an empty room with a ray of light coming through and the smoke going up through the ray of light. And I literally connect all the bad vibrations, the bad thoughts that could even possibly come from my head. Like, I don't have any. As Dan, I don't have any bad thoughts coming from my head. But because I understand all causal planes and all possibilities, those possibilities are in my head somewhere. So when I breathe in my smoke, I breathe in and grapple on and grip to those possibilities of thoughts, and then blow them out and picture them coming out a little bit. Sometimes I see different things in my smoke. In some instances of that picturing, I can picture me taking a hit of the cigarette I'm about to hit before I hit it, and I can picture every possibility of what the smoke would look like when it comes out. But why waste my time doing it? But I know I could focus that much and have an eternity of a flash just blowing out smoke. I can have eternity of a flash of 1 second of putting my, like I can feel if I focused enough to my meditation, like right now, I haven't developed myself to the point where in 1 second flash I could be like, oh, I'm in the pussy right now and I feel it. I mean, there's a point where I could develop myself into making a person of flesh and blood pop in front of me and all they want to do is fuck me and be my sex slave. But I don't want to do that because that would be manipulating things to the willpower of atoms. Like, I'm that understanding of God. You don't even manipulate the willpower of an atom because you're letting every atom be persuaded by whatever vibration it's hit with. The physical vibrations, the invisible vibrations. I hope this stuff makes complete sense. I've been talking for a while and I need to sleep, and I am done now because this phone needs to be shut off. I love you guys, and I'm sorry for stopping because this is fun stuff and it's exciting for me, Dan, and I hope it's actually getting exciting for you because this has just started. This has been 1 week, and it's only 9:30. At 4:53 in the morning tomorrow will officially be 1 week that I've had my, the only true epiphany, the only true, colliding with the God frequency, the true, when I became the one. I mean, I don't know how to put it. I'm nothing special. I just don't know how to put it. Like, I'm talking to God. I'm receiving the frequency and whatever you want to say. But I am God, understanding how you are God, how we all became this, how we're all a family, how I understand everything in detail. And once we look up the details of all the stuff, you'll see that I'm either true or I've interpreted as far as my mind could interpret through my knowing, and I will learn as much as I can. That's all, as much as I can do. That's as much as I can do, and you're understanding because I'm recording every little bit of it so that you don't think that I'm making it up. I want you to know that this is all coming to me naturally, immediately, and off the top of my, like it's coming off my mouth, out of my mouth before it's even going into my head. I mean, I've seen the possibilities of the conversations I've had. During each thing, I've seen the possibility of taking 1 second to go boop, 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 or taking 1 second to go da, taking 1 second to go, taking 1 second to go, taking 1 second to go, and we're doing that for eternity. I've seen the possibility of that, and I know I have, only because now I'm saying it. And now that I'm saying it, if I focused in hard enough, I could see myself going boop for eternity. But why would I want to do that? Nobody would want to do that. I could sit there and stare in one place going, oh my God, all I see is myself going boop. And people have done that because they started feeling the weird thing about frequency. Their brain got lost in like a visual frequency of like seeing sound. And when you start seeing and tasting sound, it freaks you the fuck out. So people freak the fuck out because they didn't receive the spiritual vibration the right way. They didn't focus themselves and believe in the God that is, instead of believing in the God that they were told about. And once you start believing in the God that you're told about, the most you can possibly do is be the furthest and the farthest along adaptee of the story you've been told. That's all you can do. When you look inside yourself is the only time you can hear the story that is true. That's the only reason that I'm trying to tell you that I looked inside myself and found this from a frequency that came to me, that everybody that meditates or really gets really, really, really silent in the mind does understand. So ask some people that meditate if they understand what I'm talking about and understand if they've ever been to this point. Or there's like a point of at least 1 second of a feeling like this where they could imagine themselves at 1 second being able to see everything in the cosmos all at one time. All at one time. But everything from like having a second of sneezing to an eternity of sneezing. Having a split second of coughing to an eternity of coughing. All the way from the beginning of time to the end of time of coughing. You know what I mean? Like maybe even the sound of coughing as the vibration before it was the sun. Like if you wanted to focus that hard, you could focus yourself on it and waste your life doing that. And people have done that like many times. Like people have gotten to the point where their mother got mad at them and she spanked them when they were 10 or punched them so hard they bled from whatever. And then they turned 60 years, they're 70 fucking years old and their mom's been dead. And something happened that got them on the frequency of always remembering that same story and being like, I hate my mom, and letting that ruin the rest of their life. It really does. It stores in their subconscious mind's vibration, the storage memory in our mind, like a computer storing the vibrations of touch that we put onto the keypads or talk that we put into the voice recorders. Like these things are all vibrations. Everything that goes on, the thoughts that record in your mind are a vibration that saves in your mind. Your brain has that capability of storing vibrations. Your subconscious mind is the powerful part. This is why we have to work our mind. I think I'm making sense of why you work your mind first before you start understanding spirituality. So I will start with the mind before we start with spirituality, because I've cracked the code on everything. And I want enough money to be rich. I don't want billions and billions of dollars. I want billions of dollars only so I can make sure everybody's fed and prosperous, and make a park for everybody to join together and whatever. And all the people else that make money, if there's still money, they'll all do it, or else they'll all do it for free. We'll figure it out then, but I already have seen every possibility. So everybody wants me to tap in for another idea. All they have to do is ask me for one more idea, and I'll give them a whole other concept on how life could go if they have enough time to listen. Like on how we could run a new government, how we could run a new ecosystem, how we could run a new, business, how we could run anything, how we could do anything new. You ask me anything, I will look into the future, look into the past, see if you tell me the history of it, I will learn about it and tell you more about the history of it than you know, just because I've experienced it from the beginning of time. I've already experienced it now, but I don't know it because it hasn't been introduced to my human brain. I think this makes sense to you now, and I said I was going to stop like 6 times. Now I have another 15 minutes. All right. Done. This was just me, Dan, talking, but I can't stop talking because it's exciting. All right, I'm closing my eyes and not touching this phone.